In this video, we're going to be talking a little bit more about energy levels and what sub-energy levels are. So I'm going to draw a picture of an atom right here. And in the center, we have our nucleus. And around our nucleus is where our electrons are. And our electrons are going to be in one of the energy levels. And there's going to be 7. So energy level 1 is closest to our nucleus, and it's the smallest. Energy level 2 will be a little bit farther outside. Energy level 3 is a little bigger, farther than that. And we just keep going farther away each energy level. And each energy level gets a little bit bigger. So this will be energy level 5. Energy level 6. And we have energy level 7. So in our atom, our electrons want to be at the lowest energy level, and they fill up first before the electrons go to outer energy levels. So if we want to look at our energy levels, we could make a little chart. So we could have our energy levels. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the outside energy level 7. And each of these have one or some sublevels. And the sublevels are given letters. So energy level 1 is the smallest. It only has one sublevel, and that's going to be called sublevel S. Energy level 2 has S and P. When we get to energy level 3, we have one more sublevel. We're going to have S still. We're going to have P. And now we're going to have D sublevels. And energy level 4, you can imagine, is broken into 4 sublevels. So we still got S. We still got P. We got D. And we got F. And the good news is that's all we got to remember. So it's going to continue like that for the rest. So the next thing we need to know is how many electrons want to fill each sublevel. So if we want to look at electrons in sublevels, our smallest sublevel is S, and S can be filled with 2 electrons. And that is why our first energy level only has room for 2 electrons, because S just has 2 electrons. Our P sublevel can fit 6 electrons. And that's going to be for every P sublevel that we have. So our energy level 2 has 2S would have 2 electrons, and 2P would have 6 electrons. So you can fit a total of 8 electrons in energy level 2. If we take a look at our sublevel D, we can fit 10 electrons in there. So if we go down to our energy level 3, our third energy level, we can fit 2 electrons in 3s. We can fit 6 electrons in 3p. And we can fit 10 electrons in 3d. So that would be a total of 18 electrons in our third energy level. And then F, and you can kind of see the pattern here. It gets 4 more. This can fit 4 more. F can fit 14 electrons. And just like the last one, our energy level 4 here can fit 2 in the S sublevel, 6 in the P sublevel, 10 in the D sublevel, and 14 in the F sublevel. So you can have a total of 32 electrons in energy level 4. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. We just said that energy level 1 can have 2 electrons. Energy level 2 can have 8 because S and P. Energy level 3 can have 18 because SP and D. And energy level 4 can have 32 because it has SP, D, and F. But last week, we treated energy level 3 like it can only hold 8. So that's what I'm going to explain right now. So the reason we might say that energy level 3 only has 8 electrons before we move to the next energy level is because of this, and I'll explain it right now. So if we take a look, this was our atom with all 7 energy levels, and I want us to think like I'm just looking at a zoomed in part right here, where we're just looking at the arcs going out. So as we zoom in, we're going to have our nucleus still, and I'll put this on the far side. We get our nucleus. And then around our nucleus, we have energy level 1, 1s. And beyond that, we got energy level 2 with 2s and 2p. And beyond that, we have energy level 3 with S, P, and D. And beyond that, I might have to zoom out here so we can see everything. Beyond that, we got energy level 4S, 4P, for D, I'm going to have to zoom out just a little bit more to get F in there. And for F. So what ends up happening is we fill up our first energy level over here with 2 electrons. Then we fill up 2s with 2 electrons, and 2p with 6, and 3s with 2, and 3p with 6, and that would be 8 so far in level 3. And then once it gets to there, what happens is these electrons, instead of starting to fill in 3d, which has room for 10, they would rather fill in 4s. So they actually jump into 4s before they fill in 3d. And then after 4p, we even have 5s. So the energy levels start intertwining. Let me move this up so you can see all of these. They start intertwining with sublevels. So it might seem really confusing right now, but I'm going to show us a way that we can use the periodic table to know exactly the order that our sublevels go.